All right, let's get down to business. My throat is feeling spectacular. I gargled some hot or warm water with some salt in it, and it was really good. It fixed me up. You might hear the thing going off, the beeping in the background because, that's how it be sometimes. And let's get down to business. 12 days of Christmas movies. We are on 11. We're almost there. We are almost there, guys. So this movie is a movie that my mom really likes, and she wanted me to do it. And it's called Christmas with the Kranks. Now, this is one of those movies, like I said, it's not a movie where he gets the girl. It's not a Mary Stu movie, but it's a archetype movie that, women have to bring up forth. Okay, let me give an example of someone who must be the best of everything. Meryl Streep, and unironically Viola Davis. Despite Meryl Streep's privilege as a white woman, she still is a woman, and a woman in a man's world still must do the ultimate in order to be seen. Not only does she have to be beautiful, but she also has to be ugly. Not only does she have to be able to dance, but she also has to be able to sing. Now, there's not, it's insane that women have to be triple, quadruple threats when men get to be mediocre and just play themselves, i.e. Adam Sandler, i.e. Vince Vaughn, i.e. Owen Wilson, i.e. Tim Allen. Now, the only Tim Allen role that I believe is great is Buzz Lightyear, and that's because he doesn't play Tim Allen. Have y'all seen Home Improvement? Home Improvement is about a man, I guess in the suburbs, raising his 3 sons with a wife, and he always has to be right. He's a man's man. He's got Tourette's syndrome and all that. I don't understand why Tim Allen gets to just be mediocre every time he plays a role. Home Improvement, if he was just like that in Home Improvement, that's great. But he never does anything. Robin Williams was one of those triple threat, quadruple threat people. He could make you cry and laugh. Even Jim Carrey. Have y'all seen The Truman Show? He's comical, but it's also very, very sad. He's another white guy who actually has talent. I don't believe Tim Allen falls under that category. I don't know how much of it can be a director's problem when it's multiple things he's in that he's the exact same person. Last Man Standing is one of the worst shows ever on earth in the history of sitcoms. They make a girl Republican and make all the people who are supposed to represent the left stupid, slow, not know politics. And they make the girl who's on the right almost basically alt-right. I haven't seen her interact with any ethnicity, not Asian, not Hispanic, and definitely not black. I haven't seen all of the seasons and I haven't seen all the episodes. But what I have seen is a lot of disgustingness. It's serving a lot of patriarchy, and they're just put it in a girl instead of it actually being put where it needs to be in a guy, because no woman would be like that, I mean, there are few and far between women who would do that, but I think that doesn't need to be on my screen. And the worst thing about it, Last Man Standing, I do believe is on some Christian network or whatever. I can't remember if it's on Hallmark or whatever it comes on. I just know that Last Man Standing is very pathetic. And it's just like Home Improvement. And I do believe that the Last Man Standing had Home Improvement, Tim Allen, in there. Because they knew that it's y'all just did the same thing, except he doesn't have 3 boys. He's got 2 girls or whatever, or 3 girls. I can't remember how many kids he's got. But it's the same role. Even in the Santa Claus, it's the same role. From 2 and 3, there's more gradual change, and it's not on this list because The Santa Claus is not one of my favorite Christmas movies. But like, I'm just setting the foundation for this Christmas with the Kranks. And this movie also has a lot of classism. It's got a lot of the wealth, like, it shows a lot of, like, the wealth distribution, a lot of situations involving wealth. And I'll talk about it as we go along through it. So let's talk about this movie where Tim Allen plays Tim Allen again. Once again, he's always the jerk, and then his wife, they always get an ugly, disgusting, putrid guy with an ugly, disgusting, putrid body with a woman that is not even in their ballpark of who could they be with in real life. Jamie Lee Curtis is not a beauty queen. We can get that straight. But she, like, body on fleek. Like, she just looks better than Tim Allen. They don't get girls with the same caliber as guys. If you're gonna get these mediocre, disgusting, ugly Mary Stews, could you please get the same amount of ugly woman? Because it's just like, it's pretty pathetic to see every single guy movie or whatever guy flick where the guy has a beautiful wife or something, or a beautiful girlfriend, that they get the girl without doing anything and still ugly. But I digress. So there's nosy neighbors, and it all starts with, like, Tim Allen. He's like, well, we don't want to stay here since their daughter isn't coming for Christmas. They're like, let's just leave. And Jamie Lee's like, well, everyone expects us to stay because they make a Christmas party. He's also the boss, mind you. He's the boss of everyone below him. So this big kahuna guy is going to go and leave. And people feel like it's their... I don't like the rich, honestly. Like, I don't like the rich. If I'm ever rich, I'm going to do a lot with that wealth. I'm not going to just sit on it and covet it. We've got one life, unless you believe in reincarnation, which I also do. But I still believe that each life that you live is genuine. And you must do your duty as a human being and a citizen of any society you consider yourself a part of. And do something with your time, your life, and your money. So this dude, he's rude and mean to everyone. And he gets karma for being a jerk. Because people are like, in his face, the neighbors are like, what are you going to do for Christmas? Can't wait for your Christmas party. Can't wait for your cookies or whatever. And they're like, well, we're not going to be here. You know, and they feel indebted. Like, how do they feel that it's their right to demand they stay for Christmas? It's none of their business what they do, honestly. Rich, poor, I don't care. It's none of their business. And this whole movie surrounds the fact that these entitled neighbors believe that just because they have good Christmas parties, that they should have one every year. And if they don't, they're like going against Christ himself. So they deny the neighbors their money for tree. Like, they always buy trees from these little boys. And Dewey is in this, or whatever his name is, from Malcolm in the Middle. And I think Bill Murray, not Bill Murray, whatever that dude's name is, from Ghostbusters, one of them. He kind of looks like the ghost. His face is lopsided. He's a bit big, but he's in this movie. And he's the neighbor that's a jerk. And he's basically the catalyst that starts people being a jerk to Tim Allen's family. He basically... Oh, it's Dan Aykroyd. His name is Dan Aykroyd. He is like, all right, everybody. He basically gathers the whole neighborhood together to treat these people horribly because they want to leave for Christmas. So they want to go to the beach or whatever. So Jamie Lee goes to the tanning salon because she's Anglo-Saxon and ain't got no melanin in her skin. And they always want what we have until it's time to get what we have. And then they quickly turn back to their Casper the Friendly Ghost selves. But I digress. So Jamie Lee went to the tanning salon, and this is another thing I don't like. whether you're rich or you're poor. I don't care if Kim Kardashian made 30,000 sex tapes. It's it's not against her moral code. It's not against any moral value to make a sex tape or do anything sexual. It's our body. The only way you could make a argument about, oh, your body, you can't do anything with your body when you're an adult, is slavery. I believe that comes from slavery. Even though it happens to white women as well, I do believe it's something. Slavery isn't just when the slaves, like straight up slavery. Marriage is slavery. That's why I will never take the last name of anyone I marry. If I marry a dude, I'm not taking his last name. I may add it to my name, like I'll do a Jada Pinkett Smith situation, but I'm not going to take his last name and just forsake mine. You know why? Your name is MRS. Misters. You are misters. You are the property given from your father to another man. And that's just something that I won't do. But this is getting out of what I was trying to say. So basically, they slut shame her for being in a bathing suit. They bring Father Peters or whatever right next to her. He's looking all up in her breasts. And it's like, why do we have to cover up for you not to close your eye? Like, close your eye, be an adult. Hello, you are an adult. How long are you going to go and say that it's someone else's fault for something until you die? How old are you going to be until it's time to be responsible? Incels always are upset that women don't take responsibility, but men really don't take responsibility. It was her fault. She was wearing a bathing suit. She was walking. She was doing this and that. Like, are you serious? Could you please get a life? Could you please get some responsibility? You know, Tommy Pickles, when he had that, like, when his father gave him that watch, why don't you guys go get a watch? Get some responsibility. Like, freaking honestly. But again, I digress. They make a plan to go on vacation. They guilt them into staying, decorating, and putting up Frosty, despite them not even going to be there. Like, honestly, they are forced to do stuff they don't want to solely because all these people want them to have a party when they could all have a party at someone else's house. You know what? They don't want the party at their house because they don't want to clean up after the party. They don't want to spend their money on a party. I wouldn't be in debt. Like, if someone has a party and I'm invited, cool, but I'm not going to be disappointed if every year, like, for 10 years they do it and then 1 year they don't. Like, I need to find another thing to do. And so do these people. Like, these people are terrible. They make me want to side with the rich people, and that's something that I will usually never do. Like, Cheech is in this too as a cop for some reason. You know, Cheech and Chong, like, Dan's not here, man. Like, you know, I feel like I know more about, like, media from a long time ago than any person my age. I'm 23 years old, and I know about Cheech and Chong, and I'm pretty sure if you talk to another 23-year-old person, they're not going to know who Cheech is. When it's strange, because Cheech was also in The Lion King. He was one of the hyenas, but the carolers harass them. They're like screaming outside. Dan Aykroyd is like, God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Like, they're all outside, like, playing games. Oh, my throat feels so much better today. And their daughter wants to marry this man that her parents don't even know. She calls us like, hey, this is Alejandro or something, and he's white. I don't know why y'all called him Alejandro. He's white. I can't remember where he's from to save my life, but he is Anglo-Saxon. If y'all want someone Hispanic, get someone Hispanic. I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of light Hispanics post-colonization, but come on, y'all. Like, oh, representation is the lightest skin tone. Yeah, totally. There are dark Asians. I hate to break it to you. There are dark Hispanic people. There are dark black people. It's not just Zendaya. Zendaya's not just the only black person. Like, Zendaya can't represent all black people. And it's getting really tiresome to see Zendaya be nominated and be paraded as the only black person in cinematic history. Honestly, it's getting annoying. Even when Zendaya was chosen to be MJ in Spider-Man, people had a problem with it. And she's not even that dark. She's not even that dark. Like it was called the paper bag test a long time ago. A little tidbit for y'all who don't know. A long time ago, they would put a paper bag next to most of the time black women. And if they were lighter than a paper bag, they got a role or job. Whether it be freaking cleaning floors, whether it be being a hostess, whether it was being anything, they paper bag up to their face. And if they weren't darker, then they did not get the job. People do that now. They just do that with their eyes. Oh, sorry, it's already been taken. My mom was told that a job was already filled and they were still hiring for people. They were going to hire her solely on her voice. And when she walked in, they said it was already filled. It is still happening 2020. Just saying. For all those people who say, oh, you need to get over it. Like, you need to get over it. Because we've been over it. But I digress. This is about Christmas with the Kranks, y'all. So now they have to decorate because, like, the daughter's coming over and their plans have been changed. All the while this is going on, there's this old couple. There's a woman across the street who's like elderly and all that. And they try to make them feel bad about not having the Christmas party because, oh, well, she can't travel. She can't do nothing. So they're going to have to stay in their house. And she's like got some cancer or something and she's going to die. And so they get a Charlie Brown tree because they said no, they didn't want a tree. But I guess it was because Tim Allen is such a jerk. But Jamie Lee Curtis is not a jerk, and they treat her just the same. They literally treat her just the same. So it's not because Tim Allen is a jerk. They're doing it because they want the Christmas party. But now that they want a tree, the little boys are talking about $100 or whatever, $300 for a tree. So he drops it anyway on a crap tree. This is when I told you there's going to be a lot of classism and there's going to be a lot of like stuff in here. Here's one example. This fool, Tim Allen, Tim Allen's character, I should say. I don't know his name, but his character buys this Charlie Brown tree and throws it away for like a lot of money. If I had that money right now, you know what I would be doing? I would be paying a bill or something. I would be doing something with that money. But he just buys that tree and throws it away. And then he asks the black guy across the street, hey, can we have your tree because you're leaving? And he's like, no. And then he was like, okay, it's Christmas. Can I please? And she's like, okay, whatever. So Tim Allen and Dewey basically steal that guy's tree. Like, and Cheech and White Cop come over and think that he's stealing their tree because he is. And they put him in the back of a car. And then I think it's interesting. If he gave them money, it would be more in line with what this movie is really about, because they go out of their way to show that these people are wealthy. They go out of their way, and I'll tell you how they go out of their way when I get to the ham scene. But so him and Dewey, it's hilarious because the reason why Dewey is even helping him is because he couldn't run fast enough. Tim Allen literally tackles this little boy and forces him to steal the Christmas tree with him. So he's in the back of the car and Dewey says, yeah, he's cool. He's with me. So they do that and they're trying to get all the stuff put together while the mom is out because of course she's got to go out and do stuff like, okay. So Jamie Lee races a woman to the last ham, canned ham. I don't know why she's got a ham in a can, but she's getting canned ham. She tries to buy the ham off of someone else in line. $1,000 ham. $1,000 ham. Mind you, $1,000 ham. She buys that thing off that woman because, of course, if someone came up to me and said, I know you like cranberry sauce, I know you like sodas or something, anything, can I buy it for $1,000? I would say yes. and take $10 to go to the next store and go get some. No way is it all, like, you can find whatever you want. When alcohol was running low and it wasn't in Walmart, it was in CVS Pharmacy. It was in Walgreens. You can find it somewhere else. All right? She did not have to buy that ham for $1,000. So, like I said, Tim Allen takes the neighbor's tree and gets put in the cop car and all that. They get involved because they knew that they were skipping Christmas, and he's like, well, that's not your tree because we know that you ain't. And they were like, you should have brought a Christmas calendar, because the whole thing about it was the cops were selling Christmas calendars, and they basically, this is just like regular cops. You should have just been born white. Like, you should have just been born a man. You should have just sucked my, but I digress. So yeah. So she is out with the ham. She is about to get to her car, but Miss Butterfingers has the ham slip out of her hand and roll into the streets. And a truck drives head on into it with its wheels and destroys it. So that $1,000 ham went to waste. That $1,000 ham. And I forgot to talk about this, but there was this creeperson inside the store that she was buying the ham in. And he was just like really creepy for some reason, creeping around her. But eventually when she gets home and everyone's home and everyone gets and they've got all the stuff, because they end up helping, the neighbors end up helping them decorate for Christmas, because Tim Allen basically says, oh, my daughter's coming. And they're like, well, we don't like you, but we'll do this for your daughter, basically. So everything's all gussied up. That Creeper McCreepersing dude comes with the ham. And I think that's cool, because it's just one of those things where it's just like plot twist, you know. And everyone is in their business. They gather to help them pose for their daughter. And the cops escort the couple, but have to apprehend a thief, basically. And Dewey, in the end, like, lets the dude go, and he steals stuff out of their house. Like, he's like, I trusted you. And he's a thief in the back of a cop car. Like, what do you mean? Like, so that's basically Christmas with the Kranks. All's well that ends well. They posed for their daughter Christmas, and they got the ham, and everything worked out. They just didn't go to their vacation. They ended up giving the money that they were going to use for their vacation to that old couple. So it's basically like giving back and all that. She's going to die soon, so she might as well have like a good Christmas. It's horrible. It's like really bad. It's a really sad situation, but that's what happens. Christmas with the Kranks. My voice is feeling fabulous, fantastic. Sorry about the beeping in the background, because the fire thing went out and we don't have no batteries right now. We're going to get some. But yeah, happy Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Nice Yule. I cannot wait till tomorrow. It is my favorite movie of all time. Right next to How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. A Christmas Story I watch every year, all the time. Like, it's such a great movie. It's like, oh my goodness. Happy holidays.